Good afternoon. We're at the, I'm Constable Scott Mills, Toronto Police Service. I'm the Social Media Officer in Corporate Communications. And this afternoon, we're at Earl Haig Secondary School in North Toronto for Toronto District School Board Mental Health and Wellbeing Symposium. This is workshop 2 of 2. I'm part of a large number of workshops that are going on here. We've enjoyed a keynote speaker talking on parenting issues this morning. And we've got a panel right after this. So we're live streaming this so that other people that went to the other workshops can see it. And hopefully other people will share the message about social media for success and safety with our kids. So we've got 3 parents and a grade 7 student here, actually physically in the room. This morning we had about, I believe, 12 people in the room. There's 220 people at this event. And there are a number of simultaneous workshops going on right now. So we're right after lunch for the context. If you want reference to any of this, torontopolice.on.ca is the Toronto Police official website. And there's a lot of social media icons on there. That's my team in corporate communications that runs that website. And I'm responsible for all the social media sites and content on there. As well, I've got a personal blog, successandsafety.com. It's also got a URL of internetviolenceprevention.com. And I've also got a website that's not officially endorsed by the Toronto Police Service, but it's got to do with mental health issues and social media, which is exactly what we're here talking about today. And that website is RealTimeCrisis.org. Again, I have to reiterate, that's not officially sanctioned by the Toronto Police Service. But there's some really relevant information on there about the potential and possibilities of using social media to assist people in mental health crisis. So we're live streaming, and we're just gonna kind of minimize this, and basically we're gonna reproduce the room on there. So this is the Toronto Police website, and the social media sites that I'm responsible for are Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Google+. Toronto Police also has an official Pinterest account. It's not that well populated. It's quite busy, and I would love to make the Pinterest bigger and better, but we just need a few more hands to accomplish that. So today, all these officers, the front page story up on our blog is about some officers riding their bicycles from Toronto to Philadelphia to raise money for Sick Kids Hospital. So our team in corporate communications adds all those pieces up onto the website. As well, when you scroll down on the website, you will see a connect with us in social media section. And there's Twitter feed, Facebook feed, latest YouTube video feed. And those, we have it built into our website that anybody that takes our 2-day social media for communications course within the police service, whether you're a sworn police officer or you're a civilian member of the force, we've got over 5,000 police officers and about 2,000 civilian members, and you can use social media. And once you've proven to yourself, that you're putting out relevant content that's professional and good, and you're reproducing your daily lives, work lives on social media, then we put you into this feed that goes right to our website. And we put all of our appeals for information, any press conferences or stuff like that, they're all live streamed on YouTube, and the latest video goes right into the website right there. So in a nutshell, if you wanted to find out online what was going on in Toronto for anything to do with the police, just go to the website. And the most up-to-date and relevant information will be that feed right there. So you'll see right here, TPS operations, they're just saying that a missing person has been located. Thank you for your assistance. I put that up 41 minutes ago, and that auto feeds right into the website. And that's coming from a Twitter account. And that's our Toronto Police Operations Center that operates 24/7 out of Toronto Police headquarters. And all these other, there's our chief clowning around at Toronto Police 43 Division Community Event. Kudos to Commander Fenton and Inspector Little 1 hour ago. And before that, our chief was at Variety Village doing some really neat stuff with with the kids there at the Toronto Police Games. And if you want to say view more, this is the feed for the past 24 hours on Twitter. These are all the officers that are putting stuff out. I'm running this Toronto Police account. I'm also Graffiti BMX Cop. That's me right there. So I retweeted Jennifer Collery, who was our keynote speaker. I retweeted her Twitter account and it came into the Toronto Police website here. And it was an older blog post that she had put up about useful information for all parents out there, how to manage your teen's social media outlets. And so now that's on I felt that she had some really relevant and good things to say. And when you click on that little link, you go right into Jennifer's website and you can get all these relevant information about what she was talking about there. So, and I never met Jennifer before in my life. And I was just she's really very impactful and had some really good things to say. So that's how we work at Toronto Police. So for social media. So what I'd really like to do is kind of just walk around. I promised our grade 7 student that I wouldn't ask any questions of her, but I want to ask the parents kind of what you came to the workshop to learn today, and I want to tailor what we're talking about to what you want to learn.
Just basically want to know the tools to keep her safe, give her the knowledge and the information to keep herself safe as well.
Okay.
She's navigating this brand new world online.
Okay. And your daughter, what social media sites is she using?
She's not supposed to be on any. However, I know she's posted to YouTube, so hence I'm here.
So she's got a YouTube account?
Is that a yes or no?
Yes, I use it.
And then she's not supposed to have a Facebook account, but she does.
Okay. That's not necessarily a bad thing, is it?
No,
Other than I
but
think the
before
terms
I
of
was
use,
writing,
the
yeah.
terms of use for Facebook say that if you're in grade 7, you probably are too young, according to the terms of use of Facebook, to have it. But having said that, every kid in grade 7 has social media sites. Am I right? Yeah. Our student is shaking their head yes. So let's. My position is let's embrace social media and let's work with some purpose and process together for the success and safety of both us and our kids. So if you're for a young student that's sitting here with her mom and she's really kind of uneasy that there's a cop standing here talking about social media, I'm not that guy. I am not going to tell you to shut down social media. I'm going to tell you to get out there, but get out there with your mom and have everybody understand and use it with purpose and process for your success and your safety. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I got a smile on her face now. And sir, what would you like to learn?
Just how impactful gaming and then the use of gaming associated with I guess violent content, yeah, and how it impacts social media and how it draws in youths, yeah, and their activity on the internet. Gaming
is definitely not my strong point, but I will touch on gaming. I know lots of kids are gaming, and there's an online component to gaming, and you can be playing a game with somebody halfway across the world. And a lot of parents come to me and say, that's kind of scary. I don't even know who my son or daughter's playing with on that game. So we'll touch on the gaming part. And our last parent who's here.
My daughter's also in grade 7, and she's on the internet all the time. I just don't know, is there a website that you could check which website she's going on to?
Oh, website. So you want to spy? Yeah. Okay, so that, you know what? That's what everybody wants to spy. So. I am not your spy guy. I'm not your gaming guy. So I think the only person in the room right now who's liking me is our grade 7 student, right? which is awesome because I'm hopefully gonna try and convince you that let your kids get social media, but go out there with them. Okay, have a purpose and a process. You know, do everything in moderation, right? Nobody wants to be on their phone for 24 hours a day. So let's have some times where we're actually putting that aside. And that's, I'll be honest with you, myself, I've been very involved in the online community for a number of years. And as a police officer running all those accounts, I'm on my phone a lot. And I've had to personally find some balance with that. You have to shut off. You have to shut off for your own sanity, for your own mental health, and for the health of the people around you that are close to you. There's nothing better than having a conversation. I had lunch today with 3 parents, and we discussed the same thing we just discussed here. We were saying the same thing. How do I have that conversation with my child about where you're at online? I said, just have the conversation. I say, what sites are you using? Right? If you're using Facebook, go get a Facebook account. If you're using Instagram, you as mom or dad, go get an Instagram account. Hopefully your son or daughter will let you follow them. My sons and daughters let me follow I have 2 sons and a daughter, 13-year-old daughter, 15-year-old son, and 2-year-old son. My 2-year-old son can navigate a phone and an iPad like nobody's business. My 15 and 13-year-old, the phone is part of their being. And their mother and myself, we share the cost of that phone. And sometimes they lose the phone because they're not acting in a way that's appropriate. But they're for the most part, that's something that's like, it's a privilege to have that phone, and it's got nothing to do with what they're doing online. Having said that, I really think it's great to be out online with your kids. Because one thing, if you can give to your kids the fact that the kids know more about us as adults, about technology, myself included, and I do this for a living, I will give it to my 2 kids, the 13 and 15-year-old, that they know more about technology than I do. It's a forever changing environment. I learn as much from my kids as they learn from me. But I think you probably don't have to make too much convincing that our moms and dads and our parents and the adults in our life, they know more about life. So if you can kind of mold those 2 together, and realize that each of you are offering value to each other. Your student's going to teach mom about, or dad about technology, and mom and dad are going to teach the student about life. Now you're talking. So that's kind of the theory that I like to work on. So one thing I like to do, and we're on a live YouTube video, so I'm not going to do this to you, but I will actually walk you through some privacy settings here. And I think everybody says Facebook's dead. Kids aren't using Facebook. Kids aren't using Facebook? Yes, we have a grade 7 student most definitely saying kids are using Facebook. Are you willing to say that on the video? Yeah, just say that right in, that is perfect.
Kids in my school that actually hate each other are friends with each other on Facebook.
That right there just made my Saturday. A grade 7 student, we've heard it from a grade 7 student here, that Facebook is not dead and that there are relationship issues on Facebook. Could be. So we got to get out there. We got to understand it. And anything that I'm about to show you on Facebook applies to any other social media site. And the reason I'm using Facebook, YouTube is the #1 social media site there is in the entire world. Everybody forgets that. They all go Facebook, Twitter, everything else. No, YouTube is where everybody's at. If I'm in a class of students and parents, or in a school with an audience of 500, and I say, who goes on YouTube? Is there anybody's hand that doesn't go up? Everybody's hands up. If I say, how many people have a Facebook account? Over 3/4 of the hands are up, including the 6 and 7-year-olds, right? Even though it's against the terms they used to do it. If I say, who's on Instagram? Not so many parents are putting their hands up. Lots of kids are putting their hands up. If I say, who's on Snapchat? Not so many parents, lots of kids, right? So Facebook still is very big. If I say, who's on Twitter? I'd say about half the room will put their hands up. A little less than half, both kids and adults. I've heard Twitter described recently by some people that are really in the know, have done a lot of things. I work with media every day. It's a media person's playground. Yeah, and if you're looking for breaking news, Twitter's definitely the place to go. If you want to reach people and actually have whatever your message is kind of fall down onto people, Facebook is where you can do that, and it moves quite slower. Having said that, a bullying incident posted on Facebook can move quite fast. Bullying incident posted on YouTube can move quite fast. So what I'm gonna do here, is there anybody that would volunteer their Facebook account to do this? Keep in mind we're live on YouTube.
I don't know. It was Facebook or what?
Well,
Cyber seniors.
Cyber seniors?
Yeah, that group.
Seniors are on Facebook,
Yeah.
big time. Yeah. No, I was just saying,
They make even movies.
does anybody want to donate their Facebook wall for this presentation? Everybody's kind of crawling under their desk. I'll use mine. So I'm gonna log into my own social media Facebook profile. So as I log in, the first thing that comes up is Carol Todd, Amanda Todd's mother. She's coming through on my mini feed. She's currently in Dublin, Ireland, and she's headquarters in Ireland. The Irish, in the Ireland one, the Facebook headquarters is down in San Francisco in California, but she's in Ireland and she's doing a presentation. I just got back from Phoenix doing a presentation with her. We were at a conference for social media. I have all the time in the world for what this lady has to say, because her daughter was experiencing some issues relating to mental health, related with posting a naked selfie, just a whole collaboration of issues. And she did a YouTube video with flashcards stating everything that was going on, and then later took her life. That's what we're here to prevent. Okay, so I'm friends on Facebook. Carol's posting pictures from there. As we go through, well, she's got Guinness, so that's a good thing. So this is Carol right here. I'll just bring the picture a little bit bigger. That's Carol Todd right there in the pink. That's Amanda's mom. She's on a worldwide crusade to just say, we have to talk about this. We have to figure this out. We have to use social media for success and safety. Okay, and she's very moving. If you get all these people are friends with mine that are coming in on my mini feed. There's somebody right there. This young lady right here is Jean Turner, and she's the RCMP Ontario social media specialist. And it becomes RCMP jurisdiction for investigation and all that, I would be collaborating with Jean to put out information that goes on social media and goes to our website and stuff like that. That's my job. So that's everything that's coming through. Right here, I've got friend requests coming in. Daniel Weaver, PC Dan Murphy. We did a social media training course yesterday. I know this is one of the officers that we trained yesterday. So he's sending me a confirmation, so I'm accepting him as a friend request. This guy here, Daniel Weaver, it says I have 3 mutual friends. Jim Junkin, who's a news reporter, Superintendent Elizabeth Burns, and Peter Silverman. Peter Silverman, I think that's could be a media guy. This looks like I got some media guys. So I don't know who Daniel Weaver is, so I'm going to click on there and I'm going to see who he is. Famous high-class high roller from Toronto, born on August 14th, 35 years old. I don't know who he is. If I'm a kid, am I going to accept that friend request? No. No, we got our grade 7 student saying no. And welcome, we've got another joiner here. You were in the first class and you came back?
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome, because you had some great things to say.
Last minute.
On the first one, this one's totally different. So I really recommend that everybody goes to successandsafety.com and watches both videos in their entirety here because we're live streaming this one just like we did the first one. And you had some great comments that were on that video near the end. So am I going to take this guy as a friend? 3 mutuals. I don't know who he is, right? I don't know who could he be a spam account? Yeah, you never know, right? So the message here, I may take him because I'm a police officer and it's a work account, and I kind of take people that I don't know all the time because my job's to reach out, right? I'm not going to take them at this moment, but that's not to say I won't take them later, okay? If you're a young child, that's where you as the parent needs to have a relationship. Who's this person that just sent you a friend request, right? Do you know them? Do you have a relationship in real life? Do you talk in real life, right? What is their purpose for being on your Facebook? Does that make sense? So if you can get that mentorship from your mom, and then you can show mom how this works, now you're talking, right? And then you form a healthy relationship over all this, right? And both mom and our grade 7 student are smiling right now, which is totally different demeanor than when we started this whole presentation, because I guarantee you didn't want to come to this, did you? No. Are you glad you're here? Yeah, good. So that's every parent that is at this, 220 people are here today. They all want to know how to have this conversation. So if we can just start with educating 2 people and we've made 2 people smile, a mom and a daughter smile sitting together with each other, we're laughing. Right? So mom's not as scared of social media, and daughter's like, wow, I'm going to be able to have my own social media accounts, right? And I'm friends with my kids on social media, right? And they don't post anything really bad. If they did, I'd talk to them about it, but I wouldn't shut their accounts down, right? But if I'm not friends with them and I'm not out there with them, I'm not going to be able to see what they post, and then they're out there by themselves. Well, what if one day they post like Amanda did? Right? And all of a sudden, next thing you know, I walk in and I find them dead like Amanda's mom found her dead, and that video was playing, right? I'm probably, I don't know how, Carol just deals with it every single day, and anybody that wants to hear her talk, she's on a plane, she's out there because she doesn't want this to happen to anybody, right? So that's why we're having this conversation. So there's our notifications. This is anybody that's like, posting anything on anything that I've posted, including some of the pages that I manage. I manage about 150 Facebook pages because we have quite a few Facebook pages within Toronto Police, and I'm an administrator on them, so I get a lot of notifications. But you'll just get the ones on your profile for the most part. And when you click on my name up there, you get my profile. So this guy, do I really want that on my wall? I don't think so. I want to check it out. It's probably okay, but I'm going to hide it from my timeline. Could I make it that my settings don't even allow that guy to post on my timeline in the first place? Yeah, I can make it so that I get a notification to check. Now, I've made a conscious choice to allow certain things on because I really want to be open, but not every police officer, not every person wants to be that way. And I suggest that I do a lot of experiments, right? Because I need to know what I'm talking about when I'm talking to you. So I don't really like that on my Facebook wall. And I'm going to go into it and read more about it later, but I wouldn't have. And I could have got it in a notification if I had my notifications on, but then we wouldn't be having this dialogue, right? So there's a risk every time you open up your wall, all right? So you have to be able to manage that risk if you've got it opened up. So I'm going to show you how to set settings. Here's a good thing. My friend, who's a graffiti artist, because I'm known as graffiti BMX cop out. I love doing graffiti art projects. I love BMX bikes, and so he says, how are you? I'm just wondering if there's any opportunities with graffiti art that are coming up. Anyway, please let me know if there are any opportunities because I'd love to be a part of it. And and he signs an Anthony, and he puts, P.S. How are the pictures that I drew for you? Well, that's great, right? And I'm able to get back to him, and it's in public space. Love the pics you drew for me, Anthony. Working on a few opportunities, but don't have anything concrete yet. We should get together for lunch soon. Hope you're well. And later today, I'll probably put the link to this video on that post, and Anthony will watch this whole presentation. He'll go, they were talking about me, right? In a really positive, good way. Anthony's a very talented artist, right? And if I had my wall closed, that wouldn't be up there, okay? So just certain things to do, certain things that you can or cannot do. That's me wearing one of my graffiti t-shirts with a kid that I just met at a school mental health awareness fair this weekend. And I took a picture of him. He was cool with it. He became friends with me. I tagged him in the picture. He was all good with it. And 51 people liked it. 11 people are commenting on the picture and all that type of stuff. So getting really good engagement with it. And this young man, I said, stay connected. If you ever want some help achieving your dreams, or you need any help with safety, reach out to me. So it's just such a really good thing for me. And then going down, somebody here, I don't know who that is, but she said, thank you for your accept. And I don't know who she is, but I'm allowing her to post. This is, I was at the social media internet conference that I was at with Carol Todd. I posted where you can find all the content that we were producing there. So maybe if you became friends with me, because you know that's on my wall, you could go and click around and find some really neat stuff and listen to some stuff that's kind of neat, right? That we put out from down there. And it's just kind of talking to the people that are already listening. And there's my social media content production team. Lori McCann was the Toronto police officer that initially got this invite to come today, and she couldn't make it, and she asked me to come. Sandasha Ferguson is a London, Ontario police officer, works in the schools. And Janine Thomas is the community chairperson for Waterloo Crime Stoppers out in Cambridge. And that's me, and that's us in the airport last week. And how many people? 81 people liked it, 14 comments, somebody shared the picture. All we're doing is celebrating success, right? And that concept of celebrating success every day. If there's an emergency where we need to get information out, I've got a whole bunch of people already listening that I can put something out. I've already gained the trust and transparency out there. Boom, put it out there. We need help, right? Or there's a flood or something like that. Go here, stay away from here. Different things like that. So that's the safety part of everything. So if you click this little button right here, right there on Facebook, you're going to come up with settings. I'm not going to go through every setting on here, and I'm not going to profess in any way, shape, or form that I'm an expert on Facebook settings because they change all the time. But I can tell you what I know, and hopefully you'll walk out of the room knowing a little bit more. And there are going to be things that I don't touch on that you probably want to go do more research on. Okay? So it's not an exhaustive list. When you sign up for an account, you get the opportunity here to create your own kind of website address. So mine is facebook.com/TPS social media, which means Toronto Police Service social media. I've got another page that's Graffiti BMX Cup because I've branded myself as that. Branding yourself as your name, if you can get your name, is a really good thing for both now and going forward. And that's something people don't think about. You really should grab your digital space and also have a kind of a legacy plan for it if something happens to you. So you kind of leave it in somebody's hands so they can take that digital space down or do whatever you want. Maybe you want to leave a digital legacy forever, right? But just think about those things. Essentially, the sites where I'm going to actually go into is on the privacy section, timeline and tagging and blocking, because they're not 100% quite understood. So who can see my stuff? Right here, if you're in grade 7 sitting here with your mom, I don't want you to put public here. but I'm a public official, so I want to have my stuff public. I want you to put friends. Okay? Friends. So you go in there and you change it. This is, you can review all the posts that you're tagged in. You can put use activity log there. You can go back and review everything. You can limit the audience for posts you've shared with friends or public. You can limit past posts. So if you all of a sudden learn about Facebook settings and you're like, oh my gosh, I have some things that I really wouldn't want a future employer to see, or I wouldn't want my mom to see, or something like that, you can go on there and you can limit your past posts. Okay? Now, it gets a little complicated with limiting past posts if on this thing down here, do you want other search engines to link to your timeline? If you have yes written there, if that's gone out, that post has gone up and it's been picked up by search engines and it's been spidered by search engines and now it's on a search engine, it's gone. It's out there. So that's where that whole permanency comes out. So, and if you, how many people here, just be totally honest, even if it was you, how many people here lied about their birthday when they signed up? We got our grade 7 student, mom's going, oh my gosh, that's my daughter. You already know. Now, what age did you make yourself? You don't know? You probably don't even remember what your birthday is, right? Your fake birthday? If you made yourself over 18 years old, you automatically opted in to having search engines pick up your stuff. Okay? If you signed up for under 18, it said when I turn 18, you give permission to have it go out to search engines. So I've got mine. Anything that I post on there, go nuts. Put it out on the internet. I'm trying to get information out, right? So what you want to do here is, this is, do you want search engines to link to your timeline? I'd suggest you go on edit there and you take that little button off, okay? Especially if you're a young child, right? That's just starting out on Facebook. Now, here's the things, who can contact me? I've got it so everyone can contact me. You probably want to, there's only 2 ways you can do it here, everyone or friends of friends. I've minimized that if I was a young person just going out. Who can look me up? I've got everyone. Right here you can go on friends of friends or friends. Okay, depending on how much you want to be out there, younger you are, the lower I put that. So I'd keep friends. Who can look you up using the phone number you provided? Well, you're kind of giving, it's like putting your phone number everywhere, right? I'd put it as friends, right? And then we've already talked about that. Do you want other search engines to link to your timeline? For a younger kid, no. And if you're an adult trying to kind of stay private, you want to probably say no. Timeline and tagging. Now, let's say you and I, anybody in this room, we become friends. And then I put a picture out like I put of that young guy. But I didn't ask you, I just tagged you. If you don't have your settings set properly, it'll go on your wall. If you got your settings set properly, it'll give you a notification that I tagged you, and then you can decide if you want to put it on your wall. Because as soon as you put it on your wall, all your other friends have access to see it. Okay? So who can add things to my timeline? I've got it so friends can add things to my timeline. But as you saw in the first, I've got some people on there that I don't really know who they are, right? So I monitor this very carefully, very closely. And it's my full-time job. That's what I do. And I experiment. Okay? So I would put who can post to your timeline. It is a social media sharing site. So part of the goodness of it is other people can share stuff if they want to. So I'm okay with friends. Or if you're just getting used to it, just getting started, just put only me till you get figured it out. And then you can, once you get your mom and you comfortable with it, you can switch it up. Review posts, friends tag you in before they appear on your timeline. Now, I've got, if one of you right now took a picture of me, I'm cool with it, by the way. If you took a picture of me and posted it to Facebook, became friends with me and tagged me, right here, it will not automatically go onto my profile timeline, because I have this review posts friends tag you in before they appear in your timeline. I have that on. So I've switched that on. So, because sometimes marketers, they want to tag a bunch of people, and I don't really want marketers on my thing, right? I want to keep it to what I do, right? And so how you do that to get that on or off, it's automatically set right here to disabled. So you need to click on it to enable that, all right? Then who can see things on my timeline? Who can see everyone? So that guy that posted that thing on my timeline, everyone, by the time I go in, it's too late. Everybody's seen it. So, you know, the haters will go, why you let that guy post on there? Well, I've got a purpose, because I'm trying to see how all this stuff works so I can educate others, right? And so there's your options. So you can make it so certain people can do it. You can on customize, okay? And if you click on more options there, you can make it so certain groups and certain people and things like that, you can really customize it to what you're doing there. But if you don't know to go to look in there, you're not going to set it up appropriately, and then you're going to be the wild, wild west out there, okay? And on every social media site, the defaults are going to be share with everyone, right? So that's where you tagging suggestions. This is the setting that allowed that guy to post on my wall. You see it says off. So if I want to have it on, then I've got to actually go in there and I've got to actually take disabled to enabled. All right. So I think this allows people to see it. And if I had the settings differently, you guys wouldn't be able to see it. And you would go, how does that work again? So I think this effectively allows you to actually understand it a little better. Now, this one here, when you're tagged in a post, who do you want to add to the audience that aren't already in it? They're trying to big it up. You can do friends, only me, or customize it again. So this is how Facebook gets things bigger, right? Because the more people that are viewing it, the more clicks throughs and stuff like that, then they can go to their advertisers, that's how they make money, saying this is how many people can view different things, right? So you can make it as open or as closed as you would like. The last one right here, who sees tag suggestions when photos that look like you are uploaded? This is not yet available to you, unavailable. Does anybody here know what we're talking about here? Who's heard of facial recognition? Okay, so what that means is if I take my camera, and I'm not going to do this, and I go like this, and I take a picture of all you, you're all looking at me attentively. I haven't got your permission or anything to take the picture or post it, and I post it. If facial recognition on Facebook is available, which it's not in Canada, but it is in the United States, it will automatically take your face and try and recognize your face to any other spots on the internet you are and correlate all that. Yeah. Google Plus does it. Facebook doesn't do it in Canada, it does in the United States. So if you go down to the States, how many people have relatives or friends in the United States? Everybody, right? We're very close to the United States. People travel back and forth all the time. So you go down there and you're at the airport like we were there, you get a picture, and somebody from the States, it's your friend, posted it on theirs. You're in. You're in, right? You go to a wedding in the States, you get all together with your relatives. You don't post it on Facebook. You don't even have Facebook. They post it on Facebook, you're in. So I guess my lesson on this is that you can't get away from this. You really can't get away from this. It's not available in Canada on Facebook. If it did become available, if you want to opt out of it, you have to go into those settings and opt out of it right there. Okay? Does that help you guys with settings? Something that's pretty good. We've got 10 more minutes. And what I think I'd like to kind of focus on is we're here for a mental health day. I just brought up my blog. This is the blog that I gave you at the start. I get, in my capacity as Toronto Police social media officer, I get a lot of people, concerned people, saying, I've seen my friend on social media saying that they're suicidal, or they're in a crisis, or they're depressed. What do I do? Reach out and try and help them. You have to make a judgment call. If you think that their life is in danger and it's an emergency, call 911. Call 911. Get in touch with them, do whatever, do the reasonable thing. But if it's a life and danger situation, life and death situation, call 911. What do we do when we get those calls? We have a cyber investigative unit that starts investigating on the back end. And lots of times people will actually post their cries for help out on social media, so it becomes a public event. We will go out and try and manage the front end of it, stating simply, we are aware of this, because we got 911 calls coming into people all over the place, police services all over the place, right? So we'll go out with our official accounts and we'll say, we are aware of this. We are investigating. We're trying to locate this person. If anybody has any information, please contact us to try and assist to locate them. And then we're trying to trace on the back end through exigent circumstances authorities, because it's a life or death situation, with the social media service providers. It's much quicker for us if we can actually dialogue with them. My ultimate dream, you've probably heard that we have mobile crisis intervention teams with the police, that we have nurses working with police officers and things like that, is that gets expanded to 24/7, all locations. And I think we're on the right track with that, but we still don't have enough resources to cover everywhere. But I think the will is there to do it. I firmly believe we need to go further than that, and we need to add the social media component in. And I've heard by people that are seasoned professionals in this area say that Twitter is a playground for people with personality disorders, right? I'm one of those people that says that. That's not to say everybody on Twitter has a personality disorder, but people that are out there and they're looking for help and threaten suicide a lot, you have to decide if it's real or it's not. There are a lot of people that need some guidance and management in that area so that you're not elevating it to a crisis situation. I firmly believe, and this is just me talking here, okay, it's not the Toronto Police Service. I firmly believe, from my experiences dealing with this, that if you reach out to somebody that comes to your attention in a crisis, as a nurse or as a social worker, and say, I'm a nurse or I'm a social worker, can I help? And try and get them into a private space to talk, that you will not have to dispatch a police car or an ambulance or a fire truck. And you won't have to spend that inordinate amount of time tracing where somebody is. You can reduce stigma, right? Because when a police car shows up at somebody's house, there's a police car at your house, it's stigma, right? Also, you can reduce violent confrontations, because oftentimes people that are in a crisis state like that, when the police show up in a uniform, it gets worse. And there's potentially a violent struggle. It's potentially, it has occurred in the past that people die. And then nobody wins, right? There's a dead person, there's people that are hurt, there's a PR nightmare for the agencies involved, and the individual people that are involved, they didn't go to work that day to kill somebody. They have to deal with that for the rest of their lives, and you get post-traumatic stress syndrome, you get everything else. We need to do everything we can to mitigate that and minimize that. So the more social workers, the more nurses in crisis capacity, the more police officers, the more parents that we can have out there, they're actually concerned about the people that they're following and know what to do if somebody's in a crisis, the better. So the top, this is where the blog is going to be posted with what we're talking about today. The first blog post is investigating a tweet suicide. I did this one about 3-4 weeks ago, And ironically, the person that's actually the subject of this is actually favoriting some of the social media posts that I put out today about being here, right? He's alive, he's well, he got help. He actually went and got help. He went to a uniformed parking control officer because of all the people that were out there on social media when he posted he wanted to kill himself, saying, don't do it, please go get help. And he went and got help, right? So this is a success story. I tweeted at him saying, can I blog about this? He sat back saying yes. Not everybody's like that. Okay, so there is a big privacy issue. We try to get these all into private space, so it's a hard issue to get out there and talk about. It talks about the front end of all this on that post, and this is where your post will be today. And the other website, again, I touched on this earlier. This is my website, RealTimeCrisis.org. It's not operational. It's not officially sponsored or supported by Toronto Police Service, but there's lots of real relevant issues about how you use social media to save and improve people's lives on there. And I'd urge you to look on some of the stuff that's on there. And some of the stats are kind of disturbing. There's well over 100 suicides in 10 years by GO trains alone. Okay? That's not via trains. That's not freight trains or anything like that.
I have a question about this.
Yeah.
It is the prevention to save only the life after the crisis, or it is to prevent even the crisis that he
Prevent even the crisis. It's through relationships. So if the vision is that if anybody is a heavy social media user that's experiencing some mental crisis on a regular basis, that there's a team that's actually there for them. Okay, so you're managing that and you're preventing the crisis in the first place. But it needs to be done.
I want to understand a bit more
About how this works?
how it work, or and if it's.
Here, I'll
This
just.
is my opinion, and I don't know. if
Okay,
it's-
I'll give you an example. I'm just clicking right off the website live. Okay, I'm on a live internet connection. I'm clicking off the website. This is going to a tweet. This is like a demonstration presentation on how to do it. Somebody types in, we've just did this as a demonstration, how it would work. Sitting on the tracks, waiting for the next train, goodbye world. 3 people retweeted it, 2 favorites. Okay, what are the options for a youth who comes across a tweet like this? Then this is us. That's me in the middle. These are some people that are really passionate about making this work. Okay, I got my friend Andrew Stewart. He's got some lived experiences. Got a GO train transit safety officer that's really interested in it. Got an alternative school teacher. We've got a crisis nurse. We've got two community members that use social media a lot that are really, really passionate about doing this. Okay. It's a charitable organization. And that's what we're trying to make it as, not-for-profit organization with professionally trained staff in the area of mental health emergencies. And essentially what you would do is you would reply back to that tweet once it's brought to your attention, and you'd say, I'm a nurse, can I help? So it's all based on listening, and then say, can you contact me at this number? And then try and figure out where they're at and try and get them the services they need so that it doesn't become a big, huge nightmare on social media. But more importantly, that person is not shopping around for the available social service at that time. We're going to keep them right in their program, right? It's like a big networking thing.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, you guys are all done?
If you can wrap up, I think you've got evaluations, Scott, for the.
Yeah, they've all got them.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
We're reconvening in the auditorium.
Okay, we'll go down to the auditorium. So that's basically what the vision and the mission is. It's not operational. Again, it's not officially endorsed by Toronto Police or anybody at this time. It's just a passion of mine. That's how it would work. And there is, if you watch the other presentation I did, I really focused in on the school safety hall monitor at this school where we're at today, Earl Haig Secondary School. His name's Dave Bradley. He's got There's over 2,000 students at this school. He's got thousands of friends that are students on his Facebook. And in about 7 or 8 years of him doing the job here, he's done interventions in potentially serious situations that could have been deaths 25 times. 25 times in one school. So he kind of walks the halls here, but he walks the social media beat. And it's all relationships and technology. He puts out things for success, celebrating success and promoting safety all the time. And if you watch the first video, it goes through a lot of detail on all of that. So, has anybody got any questions? All right. Well, if you guys want to reach out to me, my email is Scott Mills, SCOT. Yeah, I'll write it down for you. If you go on the Toronto Police website and you go under Corpcom, corporate communications, that's me. That's where I work. And it says on there for social media, Constable Scott Mills, there's my work phone number. And if you click on there, it goes to my Twitter, Graffiti BMX Cop. And my email, I'll write it down for you, is Scott Mills with 1 T. My real name has 2. Yeah, scottmills@gmail.com or scott.mills@torontopolice.on.ca. So I'll write both of those down for you. And I just want to thank you all for being here. And if you like all this and you want to share it with somebody, really easy, just tell them to go to successandsafety.com. All right?
You work with Lush Crystal.